Hello everyone and welcome to another What I Think review, and today we're looking at the new History of the Daleks number 15 set, which is coming to B&M late October 2023 or early November or sometime in November 2023. We don't exactly know the exact date, it has just been said that they are coming soon. So yes, this is the one of the latest in the History of the Daleks sets. This is number 15 from Remembrance of the Daleks. Now it is worth pointing out that I don't have it, so I'm going to have to. It is one that I'm going to have to track down to review at a later date. But the next History of the Daleks set, 16 and 17, it seems is moving on into the new series. So it doesn't look like we're going to necessarily get a Remembrance of the Daleks Imperial set. However, one thing that I would say on that front, and this is just my speculation, I want to be clear. I know that recently, or in the last few months, possibly going back quite a while now, but Al at Character Options revealed on the forum, one of the forums that he's on, that the Emperor Davros tooling had been found. It had been previously assumed to have been lost or destroyed, but it has been found. Now, I wonder perhaps if actually instead of another Remembrance set in the History of the Daleks, that we might actually get another Davros with a Remembrance Daleks set. Obviously, Remembrance of the Daleks is one of those ones that's a little bit difficult to sort of work out, because obviously you've got this set with the Renegades. You have then got the Davros. Originally you had the Davros Emperor and Destroyed Imperial, but then you've also got the Special Weapons Dalek and the Standard Imperial. Now obviously that is potentially another two sets we could have. However, we have already had the Remembrance Dalek with the Ace figure, and so I think if we got another Dalek set for Remembrance, it's probably going to be, and again this is just my speculation, it is probably going to be Davros and the Special Weapons Dalek, because if the Emperor Davros tooling was suspected to have been lost or destroyed, it does make me wonder if perhaps the Destroyed Imperial also went the same way, and perhaps that is one that has been lost or destroyed, because contrary to what some people might think, I've actually opened up and looked at my my Destroyed Imperial. It is actually an entirely different sculpt to the Standard Dalek. It isn't just the normal Dalek sculpt chopped and changed, it's a completely new tooling. And if that tooling has been lost or destroyed, then I can understand why we wouldn't necessarily get that again, because it would be a very expensive thing to remake for a one-off. You know, I know that, you know, you could say, well, they could use it to do a destroyed Renegade as well from that same episode. But if that's the case, then maybe that's another option that's in the works. Again, that's just my speculation. But a Destroyed Imperial and a Destroyed Renegade, you never know. We could get that, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think if we get another Remembrance set, it's going to be like another sort of like the Genesis of the Dalek set. I think it's going to be a Emperor, I couldn't get the word then, an Emperor Davros and a Special Weapons Dalek. So whether or not that's going to be a History of the Dalek set, or whether that's going to be a sort of slight sideline, you know, kind of like they did the Creation of the Dalek set from Genesis, I don't know. But today we are here to look at the Remembrance of the Dalek set with the Grey Renegade and the Supreme. Very, very excited to get this Supreme, because it's one of those ones I've been trying to track down for years. The original one I missed out on, and it's always been quite difficult to get hold of. So again, we've got the new style box with the bubble packing inside. You already know my thoughts on that. And then on the back, around the back here, you can see we've got a bit of information about the episode, and then a little bit more information of the behind the scenes, which is always interesting. And the other thing I liked, which I've not actually noticed if it's on the other ones, hang on, I have a Creation of the Daleks set here off the top of my head. It's not on that version, but I haven't looked at the other ones. I don't have one of the other ones to hand. But right down here at the bottom, we've got a nice little thanks to Dalek 6388, which I think is lovely to see because those guys are so helpful. They are the very much the keepers of the sacred knowledge when it comes to Daleks. So it's great to know that they're being consulted for actual sort of things like this, and full credit to them for getting all of this lovely behind-the-scenes info about the Daleks. But of course, Daleks in this set. So let's get a look to having a look at them. That was English. So here we have our Remembrance Daleks. Now we have the new Supreme. We have the new Renegade drone, and then we have here, because it's the only one I've got in my collection, the Renegade Remembrance drone that came with the 7th Doctor as part of the 50th anniversary Toys R Us sets. Obviously, the previous release of the drone in the Remembrance set was the same colour, but it had a black slats and also the sort of silver banding around the midsection. The mesh bit was also solid rather than actually sort of mesh as it is on this one, and it also had the black ball joints. But I brought this one in just so you can see the comparison between the two colours, because the newer updated one is certainly more of a lighter grey, and I've just sort of googled Remembrance of the Daleks to look up pictures of it, and it is maybe it's just me, but I think it does look almost a little bit too light. But having said that, I know that there is, I think, at least one variant from the episode which has that sort of colour scheme, which may have later been used in Curse of Fatal Death. I don't know, I could be completely wrong, but I think there is a lighter coloured version in the episode. But I want to make mention of that because I know it's something that people are perhaps going to raise, and it is something which I think I'm going to go back and re-watch the episode to have a look. But I do believe there is a lighter coloured version in it. But overall, it's a very nice piece. In terms of new parts on here, as far as I can see, obviously we've got the new updated dome lights. Which I believe the parts on this are new parts that were also used on the more recent Revelations Daleks. But we've got newer updated dome lights. We've got this slightly new midsection, which has got sort of a slightly thicker band around the front and things like that. And I believe on these, the eye stalk is actually a completely new piece. I could be wrong. I don't think this was the eye stalk that was used on the Revelations drones, and annoyingly I don't have that set to hand. I should have brought it in with me. But either way, even if this is the one used on the Revelations drones, it's still a new piece. It's a lovely sort of looking eye stalk piece. It's got a sort of slightly, the rings are slightly further back. The eye is sort of slightly more concave, and it actually is inset almost sort of doubly. It's got one sort of dip, and then it's got another dip, and then it's got the eye in it. It does look very good. Is this? Hang on, I've got one to hand here. No, so I was wondering that this might have been the same eye stalk that's on the Destiny of the Daleks variants. It's not. This is not the same eye stalk, so this could be a brand new one. But that's sort of what we've got in terms of new parts. But again, it looks really good. I really do love this Supreme. I love the gloss black against the silver. It looks absolutely perfect. And I have to say, even the sort of difference between these two really does look the part. They do look absolutely superb. You know, in terms of this as a Dalek set, you know, again, I've said my bit on the packaging, so I'm not going to go over this. I'm not going to go over that again as the obvious con that I find in these sets, because I've said it before. I don't want to have to keep repeating the same things. I really can't fault this as a Dalek set. You know, it would be nice that we do get some follow-ups with it, with some Imperials and the Davros maybe and things like that. But in terms of just Remembrance of the Daleks, Drone and Supreme, again, it's simple, but for that reason it's great, because I know so many people like me didn't manage to get this Supreme or haven't managed to get this Supreme. It is an absolutely perfect way to get it. it's great to see all the sort of the new little pieces being realised and added on and things like that. It's great to see that we're getting some new variation again in these sets. And yeah, you know, I really don't, this is one of these things again, I don't have a lot to say about this set, but what I do have to say is all good. You know, I really can't fault it. I really can't. You know, I do like to sort of try and look at these sets and really sort of think, you know, what can I talk about this in this review and what can I say and things like that. But there isn't really anything to say. But I don't see that as a bad thing, because I'd quite happily sit here and go, yeah, it's good, bye, rather than do a hour-long video pointing out every single little flaw I could find, because I'm sure, I am absolutely certain there are flaws in these figures, because there probably are. But I'm not the kind of person that's going to sit there and go through every single flaw. I like these sets because it's a Dalek set, it's a Dalek toy, it's a little bit of a fun thing, and that's exactly what this set is. It's simple and it's fun. You know, it's a short review, but it's a positive review, and I never think that's a bad thing. Yeah, really nice set, really like it. Really don't have any more to say other than I love it. So that brings to a close another What I Think review. As always, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Like, favorite, subscribe, share, it really helps me out a lot. And be sure to description below for a link to my Patreon. I am still doing my figure animation. There is an update coming on it very soon. I'm just, again, still been very busy with work as it gets towards the end of the year. But in the meantime, all of your donations are greatly received, and for the smallest donation, you can get your name at the end of my videos. I salute you all, and I will see you in another video very soon.